Morning, everyone. Hi, Ramesh. Welcome. That's a tough act to follow. काबरा जी बहुत मुश्किल कर दिया आपने मेरे लिए. Fortunately, it's not a speech but a quiz, so hopefully it'll keep you awake. The question which we are posing today is how well do you know Rotary? And we're going to cover not only the club level but district as well as international level. Try to make it interesting, and of course I'll give you some tidbits wherever it's required. To more explicitly explain what's going on. So let's start straight away. Rotary history. Now, if you see, we are more than nearly 37,000 clubs in the world. In India, we have 4,600 clubs. And of course, in our district 3141, to which we belong, we are one of the 115 clubs. We are 357 members today, as against the district's 6,350 members roughly. And worldwide, we are almost 1.2 million, but we say 1.4 million members because nowadays even Rotaractors are counted as members of Rotary International. So we are between 1.35 and 1.4 million members worldwide. We're in more than 200 countries. But the tough part and the sad part is that we're not growing. We have been stuck at this figure for the last several years. And although our part of the world is growing continuously, in the West it's on a decline. And I believe that in the USA, almost 50% of the clubs are 10 members or less. But however, it's thriving in India and the subcontinent and Japan, Taiwan, etc. So let's look at what Rotary mission and vision statements are. Our mission is to provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through our fellowship of business, professional, community leaders. Remember, at the heart of everything we do in Rotary, international understanding, peace, and goodwill is at the fulcrum of it. Whatever we do is to promote that, and the end goal is to achieve that. Whether it's by doing community service, we want to bring peace in our community, whether it's doing polio eradication, is to bring peace in the world, or anything else, including all the peace scholarships and all the we award. We have peace, various peace programs too. I don't know if you know very much about the peace programs, but that's a topic for another day. It's a very, very vivid program and a very integral, large part of our Rotary Foundation spend. Our vision statement: together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. So the improvement begins, as Kabraji pointed out, with introspection and improving one's own self. And then we go across and empower ourselves to serve the communities and the globe. So here are 4 Rotary wheel emblems. Can anyone tell me which one is the correct one? So yes and no, all of them were relevant at some point or the other, but it's evolved over the years. And today, this is the only way we represent the Rotary emblem. Remember, branding has become very important for Rotary. Everything we're doing, whether the Rotary Foundation sign has also changed, this is the only way we should be projecting the Rotary emblem in everything which we are doing. Rotary mottos. Does anyone know what the 2 Rotary mottos are? One, give me one. Service above self. The other one?
One profits most who serves best.
He profits most who serves best. Well done, Nirav. So, although service above self is a very old motto, remember that it was formally adopted in the 1989 Council legislation as a principal motto of Rotary. So the wheel, let me go back, has been the symbol of Rotary since our earliest days. The first design was made by Chicago Rotarian Montague Bear, an engraver who drew a simple wagon wheel with a few lines to show dust and motion. The wheel was said to illustrate civilization and movement. I think it's still very relevant today. Most of the early clubs had some form of wagon wheel on their publication and letterheads. Finally, in 1922, it was decided that all Rotary clubs should adopt a single design as the exclusive emblem of Rotarians. Thus, in 1923, the present gear wheel with 24 cogs Remember, exact number of 24 cogs and 6 spokes were adopted by Rotary International Association, as it was known that time. A group of engineers advised that the geared wheel was mechanically unsound and would not work without a keyway in the center of the gear to attach it to a power shaft. So in 1923, the keyway was added, and the design we now know was formally adopted as the official Rotary International emblem. Do you know who coined service above self? Which RI president? Nirav? Herbert Taylor. The four-way test. Okay, who'd like to give me the first one? Is it the truth? The second? Is it fair to all concerned? Third? And fourth? Excellent. The four-way test as we know it, of the things we think, say or do, is one of the most timeless tests which we adopted way back in 1943 and still so relevant and in our present day circumstances. A couple of years back during COVID, I did a online interview of Nitin Noria, the Harvard Dean at that time, and I explained, I told him about the four-way test which he was familiar with, and you should hear this on YouTube, it's there somewhere, and hear him explain how timeless and how alive it is even today in the present context. So I can't think of a better way of conducting our own personal affairs and our business affairs by following the four-way test. It's very, very important that we as Rotarians remember this in some form or the other throughout our lives. 5 avenues of service. Give me one. Community service. Club service. International service. Vocational service. So club service, vocational service, community service, international service, and youth service. Fellowship is not a service, fellowship is fun. 7 areas of focus. Come on, give me one. Environment.
Prevention of disease.
Prevention of disease.
Education.
Water and sanitation.
Peace.
Peace. Peace and conflict resolution. Yes, and literacy. Economic and community development, and child and maternal health. So these are the 7 official logos and areas of focus as designated by Rotary. Almost all our work should fall under one of these areas of focus, but India's got such a wide canvas that we easily cover all these areas of focus whenever we do any activity. Yeah, can you read that? Women in Rotary, very interesting. When was the first woman in Rotary admitted? Who said that? Well, not quite, but yeah, go ahead.
1970 something.
In 1978, the Rotary Club of Duarte, California, invited 3 women to become members. And the Rotary International Board withdrew the charter of the club because it was in violation of the Constitution of Rotary International to admit women. The club brought a suit against Rotary International for claiming violation of state civil rights law, which prevented the discrimination of any form in business establishments or public accommodations. The appeals court in the California Supreme Court supported the Duarte position that Rotary could not remove the club's charter merely for inducting women into the club. The United States Supreme Court upheld the California court, indicating that the Rotary Club do have a business purpose and are in some ways public type organization. This action in 1987 allowed women to become Rotarians in any jurisdiction having similar public accommodation statutes. The RI constitutional change was made only in 1989 at the Council of Legislation with a vote to eliminate the male-only provision for all of Rotary. I remember I joined our club in 91, and there were soon thereafter, I think the first lady members were admitted. So we were pretty progressive. We did it quickly. And of course, in 1989, the Rotary Club of Duarte's charter was restored. Although they never stopped functioning and they continue to function as a club, only that the official name was not given to them. So unofficially in 1978 and officially in 1989.
There's another interesting thing to that.
Yeah.
So it's only 1989, the spouse was stopped referring as Rotarian and it was Rotarian partner.
Okay, I'm not aware of that. When the partner word came, I thought it came in much later. But of course, we have some very interesting ways of calling the male partner like a Rotarian, which I shall not discuss here. So, monthly themes of Rotary. Each of our months is a themed month designated by Rotary International. Does anyone know what the current April month is? Environment. Wonderful, Satyam. Been doing a lot of reading and homework. So let's see what they are. January is Vocational Service Month. February is Peace Building and Conflict Prevention. March is Water Sanitation. May is Youth Service Month. June is Rotary Fellowship Month. July is Maternal and Child Health Month. August is Membership and Extension. September is Basic Education Literacy. October, Economic and Community Development. November is Rotary Foundation. December is Disease Prevention Treatment Month. And of course, April is Environment, which we are currently in. This is just to bring focus to what we are doing and nothing else. It's not that you are restricted to do only these activities in this month, just to bring focus and your attention to our various things. Which is the first Rotary Club of the world? Come on, this is a very easy one. Wonderful. When was it formed?
1906.
Yes, 1905. 23rd February 1905, Rotary Club of Chicago. Rotary Club of Bombay, when was it formed? I want someone new to answer, not the old hands. I want someone. Gautam? 1929. Do you know the date? Okay. 19th March 1929. And of course, our first president was an Englishman, Rotarian Charles Moberly. Honorary members of the Rotary Club Bombay, can you name them? Currently.
Ratan Tata.
Ratan Tata. Remember, they have to be alive, yeah? Yeah. Mukesh Ambani. Who said we've forgotten Deepak Parekh? We haven't. What is the interesting fact about Deepak Parekh, Pradeep? Can you share it with the other members?
His business fact?
No, that he was a regular member of the Rotary Club of Bombay and he resigned saying that I cannot keep up with the attendance requirements, so I'd like to quit, and that's why he quit the club. Otherwise he was a regular member for a long period of time, and that's when we made him an honorary member a few years later. So what are the three most important events for a Rotarian in a year? Think bigger. District conference.
Pre-pets.
Sorry?
Pre-pets.
Pre-pets, no.
District conference.
I mentioned the Rotary.
The first one is the Rotary International Convention. Does anyone know where it is this year? When is it? Yeah, every year a Rotary International Convention is held in different parts of the world. Next year it's Calgary. It's all over the world from time to time, and it's about a 4 or 5 day affair. It's an amalgam of Rotarians from all over the world. The record attendance was in Tokyo and Seoul. Almost 40 to 45,000 Rotarians from across the world attended. Of course, in the last few years, the figures have diminished because of COVID and travel restrictions, but now again it's going to pick up, and I expect Singapore definitely to have more than 25,000 registrations. They've already announced that there are going to be 2 opening events, one in the morning and one in the evening, because they can't fit everyone in the first session. The second one, of course, is the district conference. Our last district conference when I was the governor, was in Goa, and usually it's a grand spectacle and something where you meet Rotarians from all over the district. And the last, of course, is the District Learning Assembly. Till this year, it used to be known as the District Training Assembly, but now they've changed the word training to learning across Rotary, so it's now known as the District Learning Assembly. These are the three most important for any Rotarian every year, and all of you are allowed to attend each one of these events, whether or not you're an office bearer of the district or the club. What is TRF? No, you don't answer that because you've got a different answer. The Rotary Foundation. So we have Rotary Foundation India because of our various tax laws, where the money which we donate is notionally denominated in US dollars but contributed in rupees, and the money remains within the confines of India. It cannot be remitted abroad. It has to be spent in India. And when money runs short in the India funds, we get overseas funding from Rotary Foundation that the reverse traffic is allowed, but we cannot remit money out of India. The first contribution in 1917, when the Rotary Foundation was formed, was a surplus from the International Convention held in Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, for a princely sum of $26.50. That was the corpus we started with. And when it was started, the founder of the Rotary Foundation was Arch Clump. He was mocked at and said, what is the use of a Rotary Foundation? And you're never going to be able to collect money. So he made a humble beginning with a surplus of $26.50. And today, our target by 2025, just for the endowment fund target, is $2.025 billion. It's already accounted for. We have commitments and we are already on track to achieve this. So the action plan goal, of course, which corresponds to this, is increase our impact. I'll talk about this in a later session. But this is what on an average, we spend about $400 million on the activities of the Rotary Foundation, which is the biggest activity of the Rotary Foundation. Can anyone tell me? The most well-known. Polio. We have spent more than $2.6 billion, saved more than 2.5 billion, vaccinated more than 2.5 billion children over the years. It's a 40-year-old program. Today, we only have 2 cases of polio this year in the first 4 months so far. Both are in Pakistan. That too was only 2 weeks ago. Otherwise, for 5 months running, we've had absolutely no cases of polio. We were very hopeful that 2024 would be the watershed year when we had finally got rid of polio. Last year, we had only 6 cases up to September, and 3 were in Afghanistan, 3 were in Pakistan. How long since India has got rid of polio? 14, I would say, because 10 years is when WHO certified us, and 14 is when the last case of polio was detected in India. So this is the timeline. 85, Rotary launches Polio Plus program. In 30th January 2011, India last reported polio case, 13 years, not 14. And of course, in 14, we were certified free of polio. It takes 3 years of polio-free cases, or you are 0 case of polio before WHO certifies you as polio-free. And as I said, in March 24, 2 wild polio virus cases were reported in Pakistan. Who is a Paul Harris Fellow? Everyone knows that, don't they? Neerav's made sure everyone knows that. Yes, it's $1,000 at least. If you contribute to the Rotary Foundation, you get recognized as a Paul Harris Fellow. What is Arch Clump Society? Can anyone answer? Other than the Arch Clump Society members sitting here. Wonderful. Who said cumulative? Yeah, that's the buzzword. So when in your lifetime giving you cross $250,000, you qualify to become an Arch Clump Society member. The highest from our club, Neerav, is Manoj Israni, $1 million. $1 million. He's reached level 4, which is known as Chair Circle, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's known as Chair Circle. And The highest from India is about 16 or 17 million dollars from Rajshri Birla towards polio. She's been giving consistently. Okay, that's my bell, but I've almost finished. So what is Rotary's action plan? This is the mantra of Rotary which we live by. It's a new development over the last 2-3 years. Does anyone know about what is Rotary's action plan? Like Kabraji and Satyan said, increase our impact, expand our reach, enhance participant engagement. And this means all stakeholders, members, beneficiaries, donors, enhance their participant engagement, society at large, and increase our ability to adapt. Remember Zoom when we had COVID? That's our adaptation. Don't be rigid. Yesterday is gone. Don't sit on precedences. Don't say this is how it happened 10 years ago and this is how it happened today. Keep changing. Appeal to the current generation and the next generation. Make it very attractive. Thank you.